Yo, what's going on everybody? My name's C4 and welcome back to a new video. In today's video I'm going to be having a look at the top 5 reasons why the in-game leader is going to have one of the most difficult roles in the game. Before we get into that, I just want to let you know I'm running a giveaway on my channel. All you have to do is like one video, subscribe to my channel and just comment to say that you've liked the video. The winner will receive a £20 gift card on the game's release, and then 2 runners up are going to receive a £10 gift card on the game's release. So anyway, let's just get into the video. So number 1. The reason why I think the IGL is going to have to work really hard is because they need to track their team's economy. You'll see in-game leaders doing this in games like CSGO, where the game pretty much revolves around having money to buy into the next round. I think Valorant's going to be very similar in the way that you're going to need money for the buy rounds, where you're going to want to buy guns, armor, and then in this case abilities, whereas in CSGO you probably want to buy grenades. What this means for the IGL is that they actually have to calculate whether it's a good idea for you to buy this round. Sometimes they might call a save where you're actually just going to save all your money so that when you go into the next round you're kind of carrying that money over and you can get a better buy and a better chance of winning the round. A good IGL should be having a look at the score and looking whether it's actually a good idea to save this round or whether it's just a good idea to force buy, which basically just means buying as much as you can and just going into it with what you've got. So the second reason actually comes from Overwatch, and this is basically tracking ultimate abilities. So in Overwatch, the in-game leader will be tracking their team's ultimate abilities and also the enemy team's ultimate abilities, and they're going to be having a look at when's a good time to go in for a team fight with those ultimates and when's a good time to kind of keep out of the way because the other team hasn't used theirs yet. In Valorant this probably won't be as much as a worry just because the ultimates are only going to come like once or twice in a game apparently, but it will be something for the IGL to keep in the back of the mind, just to think, when can we use our teammates' ultimate abilities to go and steal a round, or when are the enemy team going to use their ultimate and catch us off guard. So the third reason is that they also need to track the enemy's economy. So this is something once again that's done in CSGO. Tracking the enemy's economy can be really useful because it can be a dead giveaway on whether the enemy team are going to go for a rush because they don't have much money, they're just going to run in with SMGs, whether they have got enough money for that utility and they're going to take it slow and take some map control. Tracking the enemy's economy is going to be so much harder as well because obviously you don't know exactly how much money they have, you don't know what they're spending their money on, whether they're going to force buy, whether they're going to save for the next round, but it can be useful just to make those guesses, just to kind of keep track of what they brought last round, how many kills they got, just so you know how much money they're going to have in this next round. Sometimes even knowing whether they can afford something like an orb is really useful, just so you know what you're getting yourself into in the next round, especially if you've got an orb on your side and you know that they're going to have to battle with another one. It can just be really useful to know. So number 4, this is what IGLs are mostly known for anyway. This one is about calling strats. So on the attacking side you'll probably have a set list of strats that you're going to go through. Probably will have dry run these quite a lot and you will have practiced this with your team anyway. The IGL is going to calculate based on things like economy or how well they've been defending sites, what strat he thinks you should run. This might be something like a rush that you've been through, might be something like a tactical take, so something like smoking 3 areas and going in off that. The thing that actually makes this so difficult for IGLs is actually calling the right strat. They can be the hero of the team if they do call the right strat and you just steamroll the other team, but they can also become quickly the villain of the team if they call the wrong thing and you run into a stack or you run into a really well defended site. It's also likely that IGLs are going to be spending a lot of time outside of the game looking at strats, looking at demos to see where they go right, where they go wrong, kind of adjusting them and then feeding that back to the team. So yeah, strat calling in my opinion probably sounds quite easy when you say it, but I think actually it's really quite hard getting it right and actually coming up with the right strats that match your team's abilities. And then the last reason, number 5, is going to be the opposite of the last one, so it's actually calling a defending setup. In my opinion, I think a good IGL knows when he needs to bring an extra player across to another site, or when you need to go and take some map control somewhere, so you're telling your players you need to go for a play. These are probably things that you would have dry run as well on the defending side, and it's things like maybe pushing somewhere to take some map control and get some information. So for example on CSGO you might see the IGL say, let's send another player to B early on, let's go take some map control and see where they're actually playing. If they're not there we'll send a man back and then we've got 3 players on A and only 2 on B. If this is called right, obviously you're going to catch the enemies off guard and you're going to have that better probability of actually winning the round because you've got that extra man there. Calling defensive setup as well could just be things like calling a stack, like if you know you haven't got much money and the enemies are likely to rush this one site, call a stack and you might just catch the enemies off guard, or maybe you might even just kill a few and take some money off them. So yeah, that's my 5 reasons why I think an IGL is going to have a really hard time in this game. I think sometimes it's easy to brush past how much an IGL actually does. just because they might not necessarily put up the best stats on the leaderboard. If you want to see me have a look at some other roles, what might be played in Valorant, just comment down below and I'll have a look at those. Hope this video was useful, and if you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a like just so that I know. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.